Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell.
This is what an Ultra phone is supposed to feel like. Finally, thank goodness. After being genuinely confused by Apple calling two Pro Max cameras Ultra, this generation of Ultra really brings back what a true flagship imaging phone should be. Honestly, I think this Ultra generation is extremely important. It feels like Xiaomi has finally found its way back to making a real Ultra camera phone again. To me, it's the true continuation. I picked up both versions this time, the Leica edition and the standard one. After using and comparing them side by side, my advice is simple. If you're buying an Ultra this year, go for the Leica version. It comes with so many exclusive touches. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. To put it bluntly, I feel like the regular Ultra mainly exists to avoid criticism over a big price jump. The Leica version is the real deal, the purebred Ultra. That said, since I'll be praising it plenty later on, let me get the drawbacks out of the way first. There are some trade-offs. Even though the optical zoom module is much larger this time, the minimum focusing distance has also increased, so close-up shooting definitely suffers. And while continuous lossless optical zoom sounds amazing on paper, in real-world Ultra usage, it still doesn't fully deliver that wow factor. I'll get into that more later. But overall, with Xiaomi taking the lead again, this generation of Ultra flagship imaging phones is genuinely exciting. If you're still waiting to see what other big products arrive this year, type 1 in the comments first. Let's start with the hardware. The main camera has switched to a domestically produced 1-inch LOFIC sensor, and the telephoto setup is even more aggressive. This is a huge change. The previous dual telephoto system has been merged into a single continuous optical zoom lens, and it packs a massive 200 megapixel sensor. That alone sounds intimidating, especially for someone like me who's used Xperia phones before. The poor telephoto image quality on those really left an impression on me. Their telephoto lens was tiny, so seeing this kind of hardware jump is wild. But honestly, hardware alone isn't the main reason I find the Xiaomi 17 Ultra so attractive. What really sells it is the vibe, the atmosphere. The moment you take this phone out, everything starts reminding you who it's made for. From the raised Leica logo to the Leica Germany engraving on the frame, even the way it feels in your hand, it keeps whispering, "Distinguished Xiaomi user, you're now a Leica user." Unlock the phone and the font itself feels Leica. Even the wallpaper has that street photography style, which is kind of funny in the best way. The themes are literally called Leica Vivid and Leica Classic, and they're exclusive to the Leica version. Once you open the camera app, it goes even further. The icons, the fonts, the shutter button, everything follows the Leica design language. The entire interface has been reworked. Even the quick settings look different. The Leica version's UI just looks so much better, while the regular version feels almost identical to the red-themed one. Now think about what you actually get for that extra 500 yuan. You get a physical zoom ring, an exclusive body design, a full set of phone cases and lens caps, a dedicated system theme and camera interface, a unique watermark, Leica Instant Mode, a special Leica filter pack, and even a Leica-branded lens bag. On top of that, you get the same CAI certification that's exclusive to Leica hardware. When you add it all up, that extra 500 yuan feels completely justified. Let me show you something interesting. Here are some sample photos from the Leica version. Look at this output. Does this still feel like Xiaomi? Where did this style even come from? And then it clicked. This isn't just Xiaomi's own work. Let me open Leica's own software. This Leica app is basically a filter app, right? Now watch. Same workflow, same preview photos. That's kind of insane. At this point, that 500 yuan really starts to feel like a bargain. Even the watermark on the photos is so subtle that it almost disappears, yet it still says everything it needs to. A Xiaomi 17 Ultra with a Leica lens. How could you not love that? For the first time in a while, I finally feel like I'm using a phone I genuinely like, something I actually want to show off. Now let's talk about the most atmospheric feature of all, Leica Moment. This might be the most stylized color mode Xiaomi has released in years. Leica Moment is a completely separate shooting mode, and it's incredibly clean. Aside from choosing your focal length and exposure, there's basically nothing you need to adjust. The colors aren't wrong exactly, but they feel totally detached from reality. In cool environments, everything gets even cooler. In warm scenes, the warmth just goes all out. Shooting in this mode feels like opening a blind box. Sometimes the result is calm, sometimes it looks surprisingly great. Take this market scene, for example. Suddenly, all the buildings just pop out, and what you're seeing at first is only the preview. The real magic happens when you hit the processing button. At that point, the phone uploads your ultra-raw image, and Xiaomi processes it using a cloud-based model trained on hundreds of thousands of photos. The final image looks like this. Sometimes the colors become even more intense with clear layers and depth. Other times, the details soften a bit and the layering feels weaker. But one thing is obvious. The processing has a very optical, lens-like feel to it. Enough talking. Pick your favorite effect in the comments. Look at this beam of light in the air. After enhancement, it feels frozen in place. This chair gains so much clarity, yet it doesn't look digitally sharpened at all. Even though Leica Moment draws inspiration from classic street photography cameras, it's actually not the same thing. Traditional street photography is extremely easy to blur, and if you really want that style, you're better off using the dedicated street photography mode. As for issues, I did run into a couple. A few times, image uploads failed for no clear reason, but restarting the phone fixed it. Also, once a photo is uploaded, the watermark can't be resized. And if you edit the watermark before uploading, the image won't upload to the cloud at all. So if you plan to use a watermark, it's best to decide before you take the shot. The second big highlight here is optical zoom. Let me give you a sense of just how wide the zoom range is, starting from 25 millimeters. What's your first impression? Honestly, Xiaomi's zoom interaction is so subtle that you barely notice it. When you zoom while recording video, everything feels extremely smooth. The controls behave just like before, so if you weren't told there was something new, you probably wouldn't even realize it. And as you've already seen from the samples, the image quality is nothing like Xperia's so-called clear optics. By now, most people understand that optical zoom isn't just about stacking good hardware. The real challenge is software, and that's where things get truly difficult. In theory, a 200 megapixel zoom system should be able to deliver 3.2 to 4.3x lossless zoom, 6.4 to 8.6x equivalent lossless zoom, and even 12.8 to 17.2x equivalent lossless zoom, all in a nearly seamless way. Honestly, which flagship phone can pull that off right now? Unfortunately, the answer is none. Once you hit 4.3x, the zoom module stops contributing further, and it can't continue extending lossless image quality beyond that point. This is definitely an area that still needs improvement. The third key point is LOFIC. This technology isn't exactly new. The Xiaomi 17 Pro Max's Light Hunter 950L already supports it, and Honor and Huawei have also used LOFIC in their flagship phones over the past couple of years. I won't go into the technical details, but in theory, it helps achieve higher dynamic range within a single frame. It's important to be clear though, for still photos, the benefit isn't dramatic. While it's a noticeable improvement over the previous generation and keeps Xiaomi competitive with other brands, photography isn't where it truly shines. Video is where LOFIC really shows its strength. Highlight control in video is excellent. Because the sensor preserves more detail in bright areas during the early stages of processing, it handles strong light sources incredibly well. This makes a big difference in scenes with illuminated signs, light boxes, or nighttime city views. For example, something that looks like a simple lamp might actually be a light box with text on it, and the LED display still holds its color properly thanks to the wide dynamic range. I also really enjoy the Leica-exclusive zoom ring. Compared to other camera controls, it feels much more refined. I love this kind of understated, emotionally satisfying design. The lens-like metal construction makes it easy to take off and slip into my pocket each time. Sure, it's technically a bit inconvenient, but I actually enjoy that ritual. The only small complaint I have is that the build quality of the zoom ring could be a little better. Also, when shooting vertically, the zoom level on screen often shifts to 0.9 or 1.1, and when you try to bring it back to the original position, it's easy to overshoot. That can be pretty frustrating. Aside from that though, I think the zoom ring itself is a solid and creative idea. I'd honestly be worried if Xiaomi tried to overpolish every innovation to the point where no one else would dare experiment. When it comes to phone imaging, I think it's good to be bold and a little playful. There's also another interesting strategy at work here, and I'm curious to hear what you think about it. This year, Xiaomi has clearly widened the gap between its big cup and ultra cup models. With the Ultra, everything is centered around photography. As a smartphone, it doesn't chase the absolute top-tier specs you see on other Xiaomi flagships. Charging speed and the processor are kept at Xiaomi's usual flagship level. The display has shifted from 2K to a 1.5K panel with super pixels, and while the battery has grown to 6,800 mAh, that's about as far as it goes this year. On the other hand, the Pro Max has scaled back imaging to a just usable level, placing more emphasis on emotional value and everyday usability. Keep in mind, this generation of Ultra is almost 1 millimeter thinner than the previous one. Xiaomi used that saved space to improve the in-hand feel, even with smaller fingers and a prominent camera bump, instead of cramming in a larger battery. It's obvious that Xiaomi made a completely different set of choices for the Ultra compared to the Pro. In a way, the Pro sits in a more flexible position. You can think of it as a base that can evolve into either a Pro Max or an Ultra focused on imaging. Rather than treating the Ultra as a higher spec version of a flagship phone, Xiaomi seems to be positioning it as a dedicated photographic tool for people who love shooting photos. The zoom ring and continuous optical zoom direction, this generation fits that idea perfectly. Looking back at Xiaomi's history in imaging, its influence on today's flagship camera landscape is huge. Does anyone remember that long, thin water shadow effect? Which Xiaomi generation first introduced that? The Blue Card Vivid and Classic dual modes also inspired many other manufacturers. Then there were imaging kits. Now almost every brand wants to release one to showcase its camera strength. Street photography modes have also pushed the importance of fast, responsive shooting. To me, this ongoing exploration of imaging is what defines the Ultra series. That spirit of experimentation is the real memory of Ultra. I hope future Ultra models continue to surprise us in new ways. That's it for today's video. If you found it useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.